Because you can certainly leave, because nobody tells me who to put on my show, including you.
Okay.
So,
what's up, you guys, and welcome back to Vavoom. We've always seen Dr. Phil's show while growing up. His show is all about people coming in to get relief from the miserable life they've been in, from broken up families to failing relationships. But there are times when he's unable to keep his cool. Below is a list of the times when Dr. Phil lost his cool on a few teenagers.
But before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss out on anything. Alright, let's begin.
Number 5. Nicolette Gray. This 15-year-old decided to seek Dr. Phil's support after her mother suddenly reduced her pocket money from $5,000 to $1,000.
I can't live off of $1,000 a month, and I grew up on a certain lifestyle. She can't just take that away from me immediately.
As well as having to boost her pocket money, she even wanted a vehicle worth $200,000. Nicolette seemed very persistent and unable to listen to whatever Dr. Phil had to suggest.
We're talking about me here. This is my show.
He urged her to make a living herself. Surprisingly, after appearing on the show, she ended up getting a job as a social media figure. She continued on her own and was eventually able to get her hands on a G-Wagon car for her birthday.
you give her more love and less money.
Number 4, Bailey. Bailey was head over heels over a girl who posted some stuff online. She flooded the Twitter account with dozens of messages that conveyed her affection, even though she had never really seen this girl since she lived in a different state, but she still became so fascinated with her. The girl, Jasmine, was left with no other option but to contact Bailey's mother and ask her to stop her child from doing so, or else she would face some serious consequences or might even get arrested. Bailey saw that as a hint that Jasmine had taken care of her and not discouraged. She was overly emotional on the program, behaving childishly, which angered Dr. Phil, who ended up calling her out.
You know what? I think we're just going to shut this down because I'm not into all this melodrama.
Number 3, Romina Garcia. Romina pulled the most out of Dr. Phil after she filmed a clip in which she embraced sexual violence and said people should accept that as a token of affection and it was all normal and nothing unusual.
If your boyfriend hits you or beats you up, stay with him. He loves you.
The crazy beliefs of boyfriends beating their wives had people questioning her mind when they got to know about it. Everyone went against her and things started to aggravate so much. She approached Dr. Phil to help people understand her point of view, but it ended up going the other way around. It seemed as if she had driven him off. Perhaps the only thing that Dr. Phil did was to get her facts straight by reminding her that her reasoning was pointless and that he clearly regrets to offer her this opportunity to bring out her opinions, and the only reason behind him doing so was for the sake of young women who could listen and understand.
I ordinarily would not give you audience on this platform for 2 seconds.
Number 2, Treasure Richards. A 16-year-old African-American woman's mother called Dr. Phil as her child was in a crisis of identification and thinking of herself as a white and was discriminatory against her own ethnicity.
Black people should just be put in a different place. Let's say that, because I'm not going to say anything too extreme because I know they're around and they get all angry and stuff.
Dr. Phil sat down with the child and attempted to clarify to her that she was not a white but a respectable African American. But the girl was adamant and not paying attention to whatever he said. He even invited an African American woman who had been a successful life coach from Atlanta to convince the girl that she was all right and she should accept her existence. The woman decided to speak out to Treasure, but she ended up mocking her. Eventually, Dr. Phil loses his patience when Treasure proceeds to taunt the black people, making fun of them. He simply stood up and informed her right out that she's making no sense at all.
You only have about 6 things you say. You know, after you say them,
Number 1, Madison. Madison was only 15 when she threatened to terrorize her family every now and then. She was very abusive that even her own father was scared of her. She prompted him to think that she was going to kill him. She would lose her mind and often yell whenever things don't go as planned. Get away! She was accused of robbing vehicles and eventually ended up living back with her sister and indulging in even more violence. Also, the night before her episode, she was part of a gang who looted an individual from his Xanax and drove on really high speed. Dr. Phil attempted his hardest to make her understand that she was wrong on so many levels, but it only contributed to Madison heading off the stage.
What she's doing right now is exactly the reason I'm telling you that you need to do what I'm talking about here.
Though Dr. Phil is very humble towards his guests and tries his level best to help them all the time, it gets very difficult when people aren't willing to help themselves. This brings us to the end of our video, which we hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, do let us know by hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel for more content in the future. We'll be seeing you in another video real soon. Until then, take care and goodbye.